let's not shift this focus to Ronaldo. Ronaldo says Manchester United betrayed him. Situma. Manchester United betrayed him. And I wish Bernardo was here. I don't know if you can get him on Zoom, but we will get him. Manchester United betrayed Ronaldo. He says even players in Portugal's squad don't like him. They don't talk good about him. The media is talking badly about his family and everything else that surrounds him. Situma, as a player, do you think Manchester let Ronaldo down?
It's a big story, and I think it all goes back to the manager, Ten Hag, because you have to manage everything, and he came from Ajax. I can say he's a young coach, and in Ajax he really used to deal with maybe young players, upcoming players. In Manchester you are dealing with big players. These are the players that have really made a name in the world. They're always appearing in the best world 11, and you see for Cristiano, he has really done a lot for Manchester United. And when he came back from Juve, they had an agreement. In fact, market-wise, they really sold a lot. They had followers back, and they felt we are going back to the track where we belong. But again, here came Ten Hag, and remember the issue started when they were in pre-season, because he had family issues, and then he stayed away from the pre-season training, and then Ten Hag really didn't like the idea of Ronaldo staying away, because these are players that needs to play. The money he's earning and the caliber, the character he has. But again, it all goes back to the dressing room again, because for 10 he didn't manage Ronaldo. He didn't know the way he can deal with the situation, because these are big player with a lot of ego, so you have to manage him first as a person.
Is Ten Hag too young for Ronaldo?
Of course.
Is Ten Hag too young to manage Ronaldo?
I wish to take a slightly different tangent from the player himself. Yeah. You see, this is the thing, and I just jog you back to the beginning of the Premier League this season. I think United lost their first 2 games. It is only on the 3rd game that they beat Liverpool, and one of the reasons they did is because they benched Ronaldo and they benched Harry Maguire. Okay, because those are their 2 biggest names, and they were playing bad football. Now I come back to what you asked me. Is Ten Hag a young coach? No. Ten Hag has a lot of experience. Look at where he took Ajax. Look at where he's been taking Ajax. He's the one who has nurtured Akina Frankie de Jong, who United have been trying to buy for I don't know how many years. Barcelona just won't sell. He's the one he's nurtured quite a number of players who are now international superstars.
But by the time Ronaldo is doing an interview with Piers Morgan, that means things are too bad that he can't even control.
It's because he's been benched. You see, Ten Hag cannot buy into this big ego thing. Ten Hag is not desperate for his job. What he's doing is what he believes is right for Manchester.
but let me tell you one thing. Ajax, the average age of Ajax team, what's the average age? You can say 20, 22 years, 23, the average age. What's the average age of Manchester United squad?
Going to 35.
Exactly. So these are 2 teams, 2 different generation, and remember the style of play of Ten Hag is high tempo pressing football, whereby you need young players, energetic, quick legs. Then you come to the team that has an average of 35, then it's a problem, because you can't execute the same thing that you really used to do at Ajax. That's a challenge.
Just 2 seconds.
Yes, there's something that Situma said, that he has a big ego. There's something as a professional athlete. There's a way that you're supposed to conduct yourself. There's a statement that he made, and he said that if you're not going to respect me, I am not going to respect you.
Exactly.
That is not professionalism. That is not somebody of the caliber of Ronaldo. So all the outbursts, as you said, it's beyond professionalism.
Okay. We'll talk about the World Cup, and we'll talk about one referee by the name Salima Mukasanga from Rwanda. We'll talk about that, but for now, let's talk about Djokovic. Djokovic is a player who last year, I think it was early this year,
yes,
when he failed to appear in the Australian Open. Reason being, he was exempted to appear without COVID-19 jab, But things went south when the officials and the government of Australia realized, if we exempt him, how will we tell others not to attend without a jab? And they expelled him. But now, at last, he's free. He has a visa and he's going for the Australian Open next year.
Yeah, you know, if you remember correctly, the court in Australia gave him permission to stay. But the then Minister for Immigration used an exclusive clause to kick him out. Now, government has since changed in Australia. We've got a new government in May, and the current, and you know, when you're kicked out for 3 years as a foreigner, you can't even, you'll not be allowed, you're not even allowed to apply for a visa. Now, for this new minister who's come in, has decided to use the same executive power to exempt him from the 3 years and has actually allowed him. He is still not vaccinated. Perhaps he has a condition that does not allow him to get vaccinated, or perhaps he's just an anti-vaxxer, as they call themselves. I don't know.
You see, somebody may be asking, see, as Jeff, I'm asking myself, and also somebody else that they're watching is asking himself the same question. Why is Djokovic special? Why is he exempted? Is it time for us to lift the COVID-19 jab? So there's not a requirement for you to travel to do anything in this world.
But sports is not supposed to be racial, you know?
Well,
Or discriminatory.
I think, Jeff, you've asked a very fundamental question. That in January, when he could not travel to Australia, it was a big uproar for the lovers of tennis that he was going to miss. Now, here is a situation that he has come in, and just as Ken has said that, you know, there's changes in government that they have allowed. Actually, Australia at the moment now allows anyone, any visitor, you know, to go there without, if you have not had a jab. But the question is, you know, for him, it brings a question whereby, is he having special treatment? Again, it brings the professionalism side of it. That for me, just as Ken said, that maybe he has a condition that he could not be able to get an injection. But he should have come out himself and say, you know what, why I'm not taking a jab is because of A, B, C, D. But otherwise, you know, for one to miss a huge tournament, you know, like the Australian Open, for me, you know, it's something that it should have been explained, and especially by the sportsman himself.
Situma, you're a former footballer, and such things might happen at some point, and you might be asked, you know what, you can't play, you are in Congo, or you are in Togo, or you are in Egypt, you can't play because you didn't show up with your yellow fever.
Yeah, it happens, and you know, it goes back to the, you know, the also the preparation and the management of the sports, and also the willingness of a player, because at times, you know, federations fails you. At times, as a person, you don't feel like I want to compete. But again, you know, those are small things that really play a major role in any competition, because for you to win maybe a tournament or to participate in a tournament and have major results, you have to plan well and make sure that everything is in order. So for me, I think the person who was supposed to be in charge has to be responsible for the situation, because it has to be. But
if Djokovic was to play,
yes,
in the Australian Open and won, had to win or had a chance of clinching the Grand Slam, probably would have written history. Did somebody stop him from doing that? Was it political? Was it,
you know, I don't know who suffers more. You see, when Djokovic is playing in your tournament, the statue of your tournament also goes, you know, and as a country, well, I guess you stand to gain much more. You stand to have more publicity, positive as it is. You know, he was denied to play in the US Open, but look, he went to England and he won Wimbledon.
You see, prior to that Australian Open, he had won 3 Grand Slams in Australia, back to back. Was this political?
In fact,
was this something different? We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about Salima Mukasanga, the first East African woman to go to the World Cup in Qatar, represent Africa there. She's the only among the 3 women participating in this World Cup as referees. Take a short break. When we come back, we have plenty about the 2022 Qatar World Cup.